When I finished community college, I moved all the way to Denver, Colorado to go to art school. But my experience at art school is not what this video is about. Maybe some other time though. So subscribe to stay tuned for that. Instead, this video is about the awful, water-issued nightmare of an apartment I lived in. When I first walked into the apartment, I thought, well, this isn't so bad. I may not have a balcony, but at least my rent is cheaper that way. Yeah, actually, no. Each time you renew your lease with us, the rent is gonna go up despite your apartment not being newly renovated like your neighbors. You're actually gonna be paying more than them. Also, you're in art school, so I'ma just take these. First, having only seen the apartment in photos and not doing a tour of it because I lived 700 miles away, I really lucked out, especially being so close to Colfax Avenue. The Coloradans just shook in their snow boots hearing that name. But this apartment had 5 horrific water events, which everyone knows is the worst kind of property damage. Besides fire, for obvious reasons. The first water atrocity happened 2 months after moving in. That morning, I was hanging out in the living room and kept hearing a constant tapping sound. But honestly, I didn't investigate it too much. After all, that's just how upstairs neighbors are. Well, time to vacuum my carpet. However, the tapping sound grew to banging, with a muffled voice joining it. I told my roommate, yes, my roommate. She's been in other videos, but I haven't properly introduced her. This is Haley. Everyone say, hi Haley in the comments. I think someone is saying, help me. I don't really hear it. The sound was growing louder as we followed it down the hallway and into our bathroom. What the? I stepped into our bathroom and found the floor completely flooded. I reached to turn the light on and found water surging from our light switch, causing the flooding on the floor. Even after being startled by my discovery, I heard something that made my blood run cold. For the first time all morning, I heard the muffled voice clear as day. Call 911. I just heard 911. EMTs arrived at our building and helped an older woman out of the apartment above us. The story was she had been running herself a bath and she fell on her way to the tub, and sadly she couldn't get back up. So she had been banging her fist on the tile for hours, trying to get someone's attention as her bathwater flooded down into our bathroom. But the EMTs took her to the hospital, and luckily she ended up being fine. Later, the repairman for the complex came over to take a look at our light switch and gave it the thumbs up. This repairman was named Jeremy, by the way. You're gonna see a lot of Jeremy in this video. Unfortunately, this event caused the second water issue for our apartment. Every 3 to 5 weeks, water would stream down from our bathroom vent, getting everything in the surrounding area drenched. And, like it's some sort of twisted joke, it would only happen between the hours of 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Okay, this is weird. It's completely dry up there. None of the wood is wet. So, I don't really know what to say. I'll hire someone to fix the ceiling though. And guys, I wish I had a conclusion to this, but we never found out what caused it for the 3 years we lived there. Legend has it that bathroom vent is still leaking, and the new tenants are now befriending Jeremy. This next water issue isn't necessarily related to the apartment, but I'm still gonna vent about it. The apartment did not have an in-unit laundry system, meaning Haley and I had to walk our dirty clothes to the main building for the communal washers and dryers with our $7 in hand. Majority of the washers were always out of order, and the dryers never dried your clothes completely. But one singular day caused all of that to mean nothing. When we walked over one day to move our clothes to the sad excuse of a dryer, we had found our clothes in a sopping wet pile on top of a random washer lid. The The appliance that had held our clothes was contentedly washing the culprit's own clothing in an eco-friendly cycle. What the fuck? Not wanting to spend another $3.50 each to wash our clothes, we accepted our loss and loaded our clothes into the dryer. And listen, we're all human here, so I can admit this with you guys. What I did next was probably the pettiest thing I've ever done. We opened the lid to the washer that used to be ours. The cycle stopped, and the people's clothes were left inside a soapy pool of water. Don't judge me. I bet a lot of you would have done the same thing. We weren't even late for moving our clothes over. We came right on time. And the worst part is, when we came back to grab our somewhat dried clothes, their clothing was still in the washer. Some rush you people were in to move our clothes. I'm sorry. I still get fired up from it. The moral of this story, get an in-unit washer and dryer if you can. I have one now, and I love it. Where did my youth go? All right, stay with me. Jingle, jingle. Every time we renewed our lease, our rent would go up exponentially. Yeah, we took this perfectly fine tree and killed it to make this neat little bear carving, so that's gonna be an extra $350. Oh, what was that? We haven't fixed these bullet holes yet. Yeah, but bear carving. Also, we cleaned the pool from when that one little boy took a dump in it, so we're just gonna add an extra $100 on top of that. These next two events happened a few months before we moved out. I would say these were the straws that eventually broke the camel's back, but this hypothetical camel has been dead for a while now. Haley and I had grabbed dinner together. We had talked about going to the mall, but we both agreed on just going back to the apartment and just binge watch a TV show. And thank God we did. Heading towards the apartment door, we hear this. We opened the door to a blast of humidity, and literally our entire apartment flooded with at least 2 inches of water in the dead center of it. A pipe in our water heater had completely busted, and luckily we came home when we did. If we had done something after we ate, we would have lost everything. Hey, I got your call? Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy had one of his guys suck the water up as he replaced the broken pipe. He then came over to a distraught pair of roommates and said, "The pipe is fixed, but call me if there are any more issues. I set up an appointment for a carpet cleaner to come over tomorrow." Thank you, Jeremy. But they didn't show up tomorrow. They canceled. And then they canceled again. And again. 2 weeks. That carpet had water sitting deep within it for 2 weeks. Haley and I would walk into our living room and feel our socked feet get absolutely soaked in certain spots, despite our efforts of having multiple fans on maxed power running 24/7, trying their best to dry the carpet. I just know that there was mold under that carpet if they didn't remove it when we moved out. And the cherry on top, the 4th water event that made the carpet issue even worse. I was washing dishes, enjoying the smell of a freshly cleaned carpet in the air. But that enjoyment was suddenly stopped when the water didn't drain. Well, no problem. I'll just run the garbage disposal. It'll fix the issue. Nope. Instead, dirty gray water instantly filled up the sink. Hey, Shelby. Hi, Jeremy. Yeah, it looks like your garbage disposal pipe broke. I'm gonna get a guy here today to fix this. I promise, no more cancellations. Jeremy calls this guy, and said guy comes over and fixes the pipe, and Shelby can contently go back to living her stress-free lease agreement. Wrong. The next time I did dishes, the same thing happened, except worse. Turns out Jeremy really needs new connections because the guy he called didn't fix the pipe. He broke it. Even more. The stinky gray water would now leak out from under our sink onto our kitchen tile and, you guessed it, under our freshly cleaned, carpeted living room. I don't know what Jeremy did to the first guy, but he called a new guy and got the pipe actually fixed this time. However, we still had to wait another week for the carpet cleaners. And instead of just wet carpet this time, it was stinky, grinded food water underneath our feet. That whole apartment smelled so awful. And I can confidently say now, that carpet 100% had mold under it. A month later, Haley and I packed everything up in a U-Haul and moved. The apartment we've been living in now for the past year has been a wonderful experience. The only problem so far? A light bulb has gone out. Ooh. Shadow now has an actual place to sun and a balcony to look outside. The pool hasn't had feces in it, that I know of. And our clothes come out nice and warm from the dryer every time. My first ever apartment may have sucked, but I still made memories there. Good and bad ones. I ended a chapter of my life there, and I'm looking forward to this brand new chapter I've started at this new place. As I'm writing this script, I've been working on the cooking video, so hopefully this long video didn't take me too long. Nah, but that's for future Shelby to talk to you about right now. Oh my god, it took so long. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not dead, I'm back. So first, I'll be honest, I got a little burnout with this project. I mean, my upload schedule is complete garbage right now because of it. I don't really know what it was. Well, it was just a factor of a lot of things, but I'm so glad to finally share this one with you guys. This is the longest video I've ever done to date, and I so hope the wait was worth it. But yeah, this project, I just got seriously just tired of working on it. I think that feeling was just exemplified because it brought me back to that time when I was living in that apartment and like just my state of mind then. And I didn't even touch on everything that happened in that apartment. We had some crazy neighbors, but I don't know if I'll ever talk about them because they were too crazy. I don't really know how to close this end card. I guess I'm just really excited to start working on the next one. I already have a script kind of outlined and ready to go. It'll definitely be shorter though. Sorry. Maybe Shadow will end this for me and I can get her to say bye. You wanna say hi? Maybe that worked. Hopefully. Alright, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!